So it all boils down to this, folks. One game left over in the qualification phase for the Europa League. Winners of here will go through to the league campaign. Who's going to do it? Who's going to crash out? We're going to take a little look next. That's right, folks, back once again with another video. Today we take a look at the Europa League. It is the playoff second legs. And of course, with the league campaign just around the corner, who of course will make it to the league phase, who of course will go home, or well, I say go home, they'll go through to the Conference League. We're going to get into that and more in a second. If you know where you've been, smash your subscribe. You want to subscribe for Europa League, Blabbing Rovers, woo, football, we're going to all hear under one Ruski. That's right. Some big boys are on the brink of elimination, but some are on the brink of qualification. Who am I talking about? Well, I'll showcase you those in just one second. Big shout out to the members and the patrons. You know who you are, but let's get into it and preview this. It is the Europa League. First and foremost, we're going to recap the results from this past week and then look forward to this week's drama. Let's get into it then, shall we? Now, these are the matches, and my predictions are going to come on this left-hand side. The real scoreline is here. And after this, we're going to go to the second legs, and I'll give you my predictions and what it will calculate for the aggregate scoreline. So let's get into it then. Hopping over to Denmark with Midtjylland. They put 4-0 win past Cups. I went with a 3-0 win myself. Malmö got a job done over Sigma Olomouc. I went with a 2-1 win myself. Brann did beat AEK Larnaca 2-1 for them. I went with a draw. Maccabi Tel Aviv picked up a win over Dinamo Kiev 3-1. I went with a 2-1 win. Kiev Shkëndija did beat Ludogorets Razgrad 2-1. Good result for them. Panathinaikos also beating the Turkish outfit Samsunspor 2-1. I went with a 2-0. Zrinjski Mostar lost to Utrecht. I went with a draw on that one. Slovan Bratislava lost to Young Boys Bern. Shambles there. Meanwhile, Genk with a 5-1 win over Lech Poznań. Goodness gracious. Aberdeen and FCSB drew 2-2. I went with a 1-1. Rijeka with a 1-1 win of PAOK. And of course, Sporting Braga 4-0 winners over Lincoln Red Imps over in Gibraltar. Wow, we were. So those were the results of those first legs. So advantage, you would say Genk. Advantage, you would say Sporting Braga and Midtjylland. But can they get it right in the second legs? Well, that's what we're going to do right here, right now, as we focus on these second legs. Of course, where then you go through to the league phase, defeat, you take a tumble to the Conference League. That's how it works, I believe. So we're going to start with a trip to Cups. That's right, as they take on Midtjylland. Of course, coming out the Kuopion Football Stadium, Coops. Managed by Jarko Vis, that's right, just one defeat in the last 6. Up against Midtjylland under Thomas Thomasberg, the coolest name in town. Of course, unbeaten in the last 6. Of course, they played a reverse fixture 4-0 win, comfortably done. Midtjylland taking on Silkeborg this weekend, where they're expected to smash those guys. The Cup's taking on Jaro as well in their Finnish top flight. They're expected to win that game as well on this one. So it's a tricky one. Do I have any odds? I don't have any odds. So it's all about gut instinct here. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win Midtjylland. Enough with that first leg to see them through. Meanwhile, we go to, where we go now? We go to Sigma Olomouc as they take on Malmö. That's right. That's coming at you at the Andrav Stadion. Olomouc, managed by Thomas Jankonka. Just one win in the last 3 up against Malmö under Henrik Rydström, who won back-to-back wins. That's right. Olomouc picking up that loss last time around against Malmö in Sweden. They're taking on Haradak Klovi in their domestic top flight. They're expected to lose that game with Malmö taking on Gothenburg at home. On that one as well. We're going to fancy on this one, of course, on that first leg. Going to go with a 3-1 win for Malmö and put them in a bit of a driving seat for the grand scheme of things. Moving on to AEK Larnaca. Got a bit of work to do themselves as they take on Brann. This is on the 27th of August. Larnaca under Emmanuel Egdesis. They're on back-to-back defeats right now up against Brann under Friar Alex Andresen. Just one defeat in the last 6. They played just the one time, and of course it was a 2-1 win for Brann in Brann last time around. This time, though, over in the Mediterranean, of course, as Larnaca from Cyprus hope to get the pull the wool over the eyes of Brann. Don't know if they're playing this weekend domestically. Don't see anything on my end, but I'm going to go with, again, got no odds. Going to go with my gut, and my gut says a 2-0 win for Larnaca, which you'll see Brann take a tumble to the Conference League, I believe. And it will send Larnaca through, but we'll calculate that. We'll make sure about that in a minute. Meanwhile, Dinamo Kiev, they're up against Maccabi Tel Aviv. That's coming at you over in the Arena Lublin, over in Ukraine. Alexander Shkëndija is the coach there for Dinamo Kiev. Just they've won 3, they've lost 3 over the last 6. Up against Maccabi Tel Aviv and Zarko Lazic, who won 4 on their bloody bounce. Now, they are familiar foes. They played 5 times in 2011. 2 wins Dinamo Kiev, 1 win for Tel Aviv, and there's been 2 draws. The last time that these two sides played in Kiev, or when Kiev hosted this game, it was the 1-0 win way back in December 2015 in the Champions League Group G phase. Coming into this, not necessarily sure that Dinamo Kiev are in action between now and then. Same can be said for Tel Aviv. We got no odds either, so it's about gut. I think Dinamo Kiev will have enough to win this game. Will it be enough to go through? Well, we'll find that out shortly. Stand by, stand by. Moving on, we go to Ludogorets Razgrad. They have also got major work to do with Shkëndija have an upper hand with that 2-1 win from the first leg. Of course, this was coming at the Huvamar Arena. Ludogorets Razgrad and Mostar. They've actually winless in the last 3. Up against Shkëndija and the Jetong Bekiji. They won 3 of the last 4, including this reverse fixture this time around. This was over in Bulgaria. So they're a tricky old outfit. Ludogorets Razgrad in their own backyard. I think they'll win this one as well, 2-1, and that might be enough to overturn that deficit to see them go through. Next up, we go to Turkey as Samsunspor take on Panathinaikos at the Samsun 90 Maris. Samsunspor under the stewardship of Thomas Reis. They've lost twice in the last 6 up against Panathinaikos under Rui Motra, who have also won 67% form, but back-to-back wins for them, including the win in Greece when these two sides locked horns last time around. Coming at you right here, right now. Not sure. I don't think they're in action domestically, so fully focused for this one. I think it might be a bit of a turnaround 2-1 win, but will it be enough? We'll see. We might even have to go to penalties on this one to decipher who has actually made it through and who, of course, will have to take a tumble into the old Conference League. Meanwhile, Utrecht taking on Zrinjski Mostar. Ron Jans coming into this on the back of just 1 defeat in the last 6 up against Igor Stimac's Zrinjski Mostar. Just 1 win in the last 6. But they are familiar foes. They've been played 3 times in 2019. They last played in the Dutchlands. It was a 1-1 scoreline way back in July 2019. The reverse fixture, a 2-0 win for Utrecht in Mostar. They make it an unbeaten streak of 3. Actually, they did lose. They did lose to Mostar 1 time. Coming into this, Utrecht are in action against Excelsior this weekend. They're expected to win that game. Zrinjski Mostar taking on Zelensky Sarajevo in their match as well this weekend. They're expected to win that one. 2-0 winners though for me for Utrecht. I think they're just too good and warrant a place here in the old Europa League. Meanwhile, Young Boys Bern, they're up against it, taking on Slovan Bratislava. This is over in Switzerland with Giorgione Contini and the coach there. Just 1 defeat in the last 6 up against Slovan Bratislava, and Vladimir Weiss just 1 win in the last 4 for them. They're familiar foes, having played 5 times in 2014, 4 wins for Young Boys. That's for Slovan Bratislava. There's been 1 draw. The last time they played in Switzerland was back in July 2021. It was a 3-2 win for Young Boys. They also picked up a win this past week with a 1-0 win in Bratislava. Slovan Bratislava taking on Maccabi. They're expected to win that game in their domestic top flight. But this one's going to go to the Swiss outfit. 2-1 win. Too good, too strong. And that might be enough. Meanwhile, Genk, who I think have a superior advantage in that first leg with that, 5-1 win under Torsten Fink. Back-to-back wins for them. Up against Lech and Niels Frindriksson, winless in the last 4. They played 3 times in 2018, 3 wins for Genk, nothing for Poznań. There's been no draws, of course. The last time they played in Belgium was a 2-0 win for Genk way back in August 2018. And Genk are they must be taking on somebody this weekend. I just don't see it at the moment. So 3 wins on the bounce for Genk. They actually scored 9 goals against Poznań over the course of those 3 matches, picking up an average of 3 goals a game. And they'll win this one as well with another 3-0 win to add to the tally. Let's move on forward to the final 3 here. We've got Steaua Bucharest taking on Aberdeen coming at you over at the Arena Națională. Steaua Bucharest under the stewardship of Elias Chambalopoulos, the Cypriot, just 1 defeat in the last 5 up against Aberdeen under Jimmy Taine, who's started off the season on back-to-back games without a loss, of course, including a draw last time around at Pataudry. Coming at you this weekend, I'm sure Aberdeen are in action. Steaua Bucharest taking on champions FC Argus in the Romanian top flight there. Gonna go with Steaua Bucharest on this one, I think. 2-0 win. Aberdeen, of course, will have to settle for Conference League football in my eyes, if my calculations are correct. Into the final 2, and it's PAOK taking on HNK Rijeka. This one's coming at you over in Greece. PAOK, of course, managed by Razan Lucescu up against Rijeka, managed by Radomir Djakovic. This is at the Tumba Stadium, and of course, they've played 3 times previously. The last time played in Greece was back in August 2021, and it was a 1-1 scoreline. That would send Rijeka through if we had a 1-1 scoreline. So, of course, PAOK need to deliver. They're on the back of that 1-0 loss, of course, taking on Larissa this weekend in the Greek Cypriot League. Looks like Rijeka taking on Vazadan, and then both sides are expected to win those home matches. But of course, who will win this one? I'm going to go with PAOK to win this 2-0 win. And again, that will turn it around, turn the ship around. And then finally, if there's ever a certainty, it's this game. It's Braga against Lincoln Red Imps up against the Braga Municipal. The hosts, of course, Portuguese outfit managed by the Spaniard Carlos Vincents. They've won 6 of the matches. In fact, they're unbeaten. They haven't lost in the last 12 games. Up against Lincoln Red Imps, just lost once in the last 4, including this. And that one loss was the reverse fixture. 4-0 winners in Gibraltar when Braga ran riot. And I do expect them to run riot once again in this one. And I'm gone with a 5-0 win, this time in Portugal. to send the part-timers to the Conference League, of course. So that is my picks. What does that calculate to? Well, it calculates to this. We'll see Midtjylland go through, as will Malmö. Larnaca will join them, as will Maccabi Tel Aviv. Ludogorets Razgrad turn it all around, as do Panathinaikos. 3-3 scoreline there. Utrecht comfortably done, as a young boys burn. Genk in there. Bucharest will join them. PAOK as well. And then Braga comfortably done. That, my friends, is what I've got. Make sure you smash your like, subscribe on your way out. But until then, I'll see you soon whenever I return. And of course, when I do return, it will be the league phase. Until then, we're done.